Yo, if there was an award for shortest shorts ever worn on a podcast, I might have just won. Jeez. What's up, baby? Another day, man.
You can't let one clap go, can you?
No, I can't. Tony claps, I got to clap right after.
My clap is better.
I do one more clap.
Mine's in tune. Here we go.
Go ahead, do your clap.
I did my clap.
It's already come and gone. You can't do another one?
the moment's passed.
Damn it. Oh, my goodness. It's a beautiful day today, dude. My goodness.
Yeah, man. We're starting with the weather.
Let's do it. Tony hates. We always
small talk, dude.
Small talk is the worst.
Get into it. The first thing you do is you start talking about the weather. The day's done.
Isn't that funny?
You've ran out of things to say. We just started and you have nothing to say.
You got nothing to say, and we're gonna talk. We're gonna start with
how about this weather?
It's hot out there today.
Few shoots.
It's muggy.
Yeah, man.
It's so muggy, man.
If you tell me about the traffic and the weather already, and we just started talking, it's not a good indicator of how the rest of the conversation is gonna go. Like, it's
how many times have we been around people and then they start with the weather, and we always, whenever we get in the car together afterward, we're always laughing about it.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
The weather.
I'm good at small talk, but the older I get, the less I'm tolerable of it.
Yeah, no, this is a dead horse for me, beating it over and over. As far as like, why isn't it more acceptable to just stay silent? I don't get it.
Yeah, I've learned that from you to kind of just really, really think about your words before you speak in any situation, whether it be informal, formal. Just kind of take it in, really think about what you want to say, and then say the words.
It'd be nice if our president did that.
Or don't say anything at all. or don't speak.
Silence is beautiful.
Dude, it's funny. We went and filmed a real estate shoot out in the sticks. Actually, kind of like that recently. And that driveway was like a quarter-mile long through this thick forest, and then it just opened up to this house, and it's just completely surrounded by trees. And we were sitting there, and I was like, man, this is the dream, dude. Like, as I get older, it's like I want to be further and further away from people, and I don't want to see you. I don't want to hear you. I don't want to be around it. I will drive to where I need to be if I want that, but when I'm home in the sanctuary, it's like the older I get, the more I want to just be away, man.
I like that.
It was a lot different when I was younger, man. You know, I had an apartment in D.C. in Southeast on 7th Street, right across the street from 8th and I there in Southeast, and loved that. Did that for a long time. You know what I mean? Lived in the city. Did the whole Hawaii thing, like in Waikiki, like in the city, and it was good. It had its place, but man, now I'm just like, nah, get me away from everyone.
Yeah, no, be far. I could do both, but my preference is gonna be to be far from everything.
Yeah,
it just makes it a pain when you gotta go shopping and stuff. Like, we went over there, I didn't see nothing. Like, as far as stores and stuff like that.
They had that
like,
gas station on Blackwater Road, that boat ramp.
Yeah, you're not getting groceries at the gas station.
That cool,
unless it's you.
That towel cool Budweiser.
Yeah, no.
Hey, it
was a different world over there, man.
Dude, did you see anybody wearing a mask over there? I didn't. Dude, I went in.
There's a joke for that too.
I know. Nobody wearing a mask out there.
Oh, well, I don't know.
At that gas station.
Not in the day.
Not during the day, man. You're an idiot. Not during the day. That's a different kind of mask they wearing out there. No,
not
I'm
out
joking.
there.
That's just dude, I pulled up. I got there before you. So we're like in rural Pungo. We're like way out there. Half an hour from here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And half an hour south, almost to the border of North Carolina. And
it sent me through Chesapeake to get there.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just took Princess Anne out, but we get out there, and the agent we're working with wanted us to kind of film. We do like local amenities if it warrants it, and this one was warranted. It had it was a gas station on the water, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was cool. You go fishing
boat,
down there.
It had boat access there. You could fish there. It's a nice spot. It's really pretty over there, and it's like cool. It's like this old. It's kind of like a corner store kind of feel to it. Kind of like wood building. It was really neat. It looked like a cabin almost. But anyway, so we get there, and I'm looking around. I'm like, we are in the country. I'm just looking at the demographics out here, and nobody's wearing a mask, but I had to go in. I had to use the restroom. So I was like, and I'm in like a collared shirt and my little shorts, and I'm looking like city boy. And I'm like, yo, do I put this mask on? I put the mask on, man. I put the mask on.
Put the mask on.
I went in put the mask on, said, hey, you guys have a restroom? They were like, out back. I said, okay, thank you.
Okay,
thank you.
Yeah, no, before you walk in there, you got to take your hat and like
Oh yeah,
fold it to where these are touching.
Yeah, don't come in there with no flat bill hat, boy.
Yeah, nah. Everybody was out there. Like, it was all kinds of people, but it was just like, you could tell this is just, we're in the South.
Yeah, we're in the South side.
Like, and it's funny because Virginia Beach is like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Virginia Beach has gotten kind of more city or whatever, but you still go to some areas like out there in Pungo and they still got that South lifestyle. Like,
you see the big lifted trucks.
You think you're out in Georgia or something. Like,
nah, for real.
You wouldn't think you're still in Virginia Beach, kind of. Like, at least for me, like me growing up around here, like,
quite different.
I didn't see that all the time like that. Like, nothing necessarily wrong with it. I get it. But I grew up around people that was kind of like city vibe, like, and you forget that we're like 30 minutes away from like country,
like country.
Like, people live that life and in the woods and in acres of lands between.
Man, in high school I dated a girl whose parents owned farmland out in Pungo, and they had cornfields. They did the strawberry fields. They did that whole thing. They did the corn maze, and it was awesome, man. It was very cool. I always enjoyed going out there and helping her dad out from time to time with some of the chores.
You broke up because she didn't let you be Hey King?
Yeah. I wasn't Hey King, so that had to end. That's funny. But yeah, that was a long time ago, man.
The strawberries is cool. This year we couldn't, we tried to go a few times, but it seemed like that's what everybody was doing because of the COVID thing.
Yeah. It was like one of the few things that you could do outside.
Like, we went a few times and they would like, out. Like, no strawberries.
No strawberries left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the place we went to, because we did it with Vic too. It's so funny. It's just nothing to do. Everybody went and picked berries out of the ground. They would take entire rows and say, you can't touch these. Like, we have to save these. Like, they had to like partition it out so they wouldn't run out.
That's cool. That's cool.
It was fun. It was nice. It was like one of the first times we had been out of the house. I mean, this was maybe like a month ago. Almost 2 months ago.
I don't know if I could, like, they're not living 100% on their own. Like, you know, they don't sustain their life 100% out there, but like, you got, like, in Pennsylvania, you go out there, they still got the Amish out there that live like that, kind of, to an extent. Like, they just stay within themselves and provide for themselves. I don't know if I could do that. At one time, that was interesting to me, and now I'm like,
it's a lot of work, dude. Farmers, dude, to be self-sufficient as a farmer, that's got to be a crazy amount of work.
I feel like people forget those people exist and that they're necessary.
They're so necessary.
Like, where are you getting your meat and your vegetables from and all that stuff? Like, somebody has to raise this, raise these animals
in a building.
It's like
they're not. These steaks aren't coming off a conveyor belt.
Yeah,
you know
like the farming, whatever you call them, the farming community.
Yeah. FarmersOnly.com.
You need them,
dude.
man.
Have you seen FarmersOnly.com? You've seen these commercials, right? Please tell me.
Do I look like I searched FarmersOnly.com?
I didn't say you searched for FarmersOnly.com. I'm saying they were on television forever in this area.
I like I watch television.
So what? So
I don't have cable.
Yeah, this is true. You're one of the I got a hipster cable, baby.
Yeah,
I cut all them cords except for that Ethernet.
I got
cord.
Hulu and Netflix. I cut everything else off.
So so you know nothing about FarmersOnly.com. What do you think that is? FarmersOnly.com.
It's a website where farmers can go date each other.
There you go, baby. That's it. Nailed it. But they have this crazy cool jingle. It's just
is it really?
It's a real thing.
It's a dating site?
There's a dating site where
I was joking.
No, it's farm. Dude, look at FarmersOnly.com.
I just said that because I thought it'd be the sarcastic.
No.
Like, I thought it'd be something else. Okay.
It is a legit commercial. Dude, we got to watch the ad. The ad is hilarious. It's like this great, beautiful,
where
slow motion footage, cinematic.
Farmers.
Yeah, almost, Farmers Only. Romantically, dude. That Southern lifestyle, baby. Maybe not just the Southern lifestyle, but the farming lifestyle, man.
Okay.
Oh, you raise hogs too? Word. I raise hogs too, dog.
I don't think they say dog.
Hey, dog. Oh, man.
You gotta
I was doing that Chappelle thing.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you. Oh, you do strawberry fields too, dog? Me too, dog. Oh, man. But yeah, FarmersOnly.com. That's what we were the other day.
Well,
but look at that, dude. That's where I want to live.
I'm not familiar. That looks like where you did the Woody thing in the Poconos.
Oh, yeah, up in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful place, too, dude. The Poconos.
Well, yeah, it depends where. Yeah. Okay, the Poconos, yeah.
Yeah, the Poconos.
Because you said Pennsylvania, that's a beautiful place. It's like...
some places in Pennsylvania.
Some places
in Virginia Beach are nice. Some are not.
Some places they call Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
You know, my buddy Ben Dink, Mr. Harris, out there in south of Chicago, talk about Rockford, Illinois. It was Rockganistan.
Oh yeah,
dude. I was just like, first time he said Rockganistan, I was like, "What the hell did you just say?"
That's when I went to Chicago. They say Chirac.
Chirac. Yeah. He says that one too. Chirac and.
They say Chirac is a real thing, man. Like, that's for real Chirac. Like, it's
unfortunate. Yeah, dude. Yeah. But anyway, Pennsylvania, I was up there, filmed some things for my dad, my uncle, and that's That's exactly what it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
But big rolling hills in Pennsylvania. It was so cool. We were out there and we were shooting the video. They were making a line of custom wooden racks for like musical instruments.
For this stuff.
Any kind of studio equipment. They're actually getting into the furniture game. I think we might have him on when he comes in town. But anyway, like 2 days into filming this promotional shoot, my uncle wanted to go to the bar. He was like, let's go to the bar. I got a great place. I was like, all right, cool. So we get in the car, and dude, we're driving down this there's no one around. It's like mountain roads. Like there's just big mountains and hills and things. And then all of a sudden at the end of this little road is like a bar, like something you see out of a movie or something. Just like a little hole in the wall place, sticky floors, but you go in there and they had this crazy good house band.
Okay.
All these young cats in there just slaying. And people would come up. It was an open mic night. So the band would stay up there and you'd come up on stage if you had a guitar or if you sang or something and you do your thing with the band. And I'm a musician, my dad's a musician, and my uncle's a musician. So we're all sitting there and silently judging everybody. But you know what I mean? While not going up there ourselves.
Right.
My uncle really wanted me to go up there with him to play. But I was like, I'm not on my home turf right now. I've had a few drinks as well, so, and I haven't played in a long time.
So you didn't?
No. If I were to go back again, I probably would. But I was just there to enjoy. I was enjoying the music, man. But it's a beautiful place. Beautiful freaking place, man. I had never been up there before. I've been to Philadelphia. I've driven through, the eastern side of Pennsylvania on the way up north. But that was the first time I kind of stretched out in the more rural area of Pennsylvania.
And you just got him over there?
Yeah, it's just him. Just my uncle up there.
They came from there? How did he end up over there?
No, I'm not too sure how he ended up in Pennsylvania.
You guys, your family's spread out. You got Virginia and then California.
We got California, Virginia, all over the place, man. Up in Pittsburgh, we got people. Yeah, so. But anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, man. How far north have you ever been? You ever been all the way up? It's like Maine or anything like that?
No.
Yeah, me either.
Nope.
Always wanted to go up there.
Yeah, no. I can't remember going further than where like Brooklyn and all that stuff. Like, and it's funny. I was showing Joyce on a map. And, like, people don't realize, like, people say New York, and when they think New York, they think of like Manhattan. And, it's like, look at a map. That's like the bottom right corner, like the tiniest thing of like New York is so much bigger than that. Like,
yeah, a lot of people from New York love to say, I'm not from the city.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
Well, it's like Virginia Beach. People think it's just the oceanfront, but geographically, Virginia Beach is much bigger than just that little strip of beach.
Oh yeah, no, you
drive 45 minutes from one side to the other.
We go to Sandbridge too out there. That beach, like there's different beaches out here too.
Go up to the bay, and then everything in between there in 264.
Like if we ever go to the beach, we'll do the beach. If we ever go to the beach.
Whenever we go to the beach, we choose Sandbridge.
Yeah. Kind of name is soap anyway.
That's right. Another Call of Duty reference. I love it.
Yeah, no, we go to Sandbridge. It's like twice a year or something we go, but I don't know. I've never been big on the beach. It's funny, like you would think that you're out there all the time. It's one of the things that when you have it, you don't really use it.
Dude, it's such a good point you just made.
You don't
like it's funny. We've talked about in the last. Everybody talks about, well, what if we were to move? Where would we go? But then you start thinking, you're like, well, we wouldn't have the beach. I'm like, how often do we go to the beach?
I wouldn't miss it.
We're not at the beach.
I wouldn't miss it one bit.
I mean, it's nice to have the option, sure. But it's not like we're every weekend we're at the beach. All of a sudden now you don't have the beach. I'm sure there are people like that, but
yeah, I don't think I'd ever move.
How many people in Virginia Beach go to the beach regularly? You know what I mean?
It's probably few, very few. I bet you people that live right on the beach probably don't go as often either. Like you just get into your rhythm of working and going home.
Working and sleeping, dude.
I think most people are like that. I don't know. The heck do I know?
Well, working class people are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least I saw that great meme, and it just hits home so often. Not so much these days because we can wear whatever we want, but back before that, you'd have two outfits you wore: your pajamas and your work outfit, man. Your work costume, as I used to call it. It was a costume, and a lot of people live that way, dude. They work all day to come home and sit in front of the TV for a couple hours and pass out, which is
some of those clothes from back in the day were cool. Like I see pictures like when everybody was wearing suits, like everybody.
Isn't that funny? Like to me, that's never coming back, and that sucks.
Well, for certain, what it became was like the uniform for certain elite circles,
elite classes.
It used to be that everybody wore that, like wherever you were going.
No
like
matter
you
what
were going to work at a register, you had like your jacket and your tie, like whatever. So at least
20s.
in the pictures, as far as
yeah, right. At least what the media
pictures
told
I
us.
saw, whatever in the books I saw, which the books lie to you anyway. You ever seen a white pharaoh? That was in the books. They lied.
They lied.
Oh,
dude, that'd be crazy. Can you imagine having to put on a 3-piece suit every damn day and one of those cool gangster hats?
I like the look.
What you going to do? I'm going to stock the shelves at Target.
It's just expensive to dress that way. Like honestly, I like that.
Oh yeah,
I dress like that like every now and then if I had the income for that. Like, but for those things, it's like a couple $100, like just to get a decent looking suit.
So I have a great story. We were in Cambodia when I was in the Marine Corps, and we found this tailor that made custom suits. I mean, obviously we all know what a tailor does, but we all went and got suits made. I have it somewhere. At least I think it might be in storage, but it's about 14 sizes too big or too small for me these days. But yeah, it was really cool. They were these cool ladies, man. I got a really fun. That's when GoPro just came out, and I took the GoPro with me on that trip. So I'll find it. I'll send it to you. There's a great little vlog of me going to the tailor with a buddy of mine
in Cambodia.
Yeah. Holla back, Cambodia.
All right,
dude. In Cambodia, they had butlers at this place we stayed, like a butler. So I went and bought a bunch of Top-Ramen, like the Top-Ramen packets, and I had them in my room just to eat. I'll never forget this, dude. This butler was taking the Top-Ramen and made it and put it on a beautiful bowl and like presented it really nice. Buddy of mine, that happened to him. And I was like, this is the dopest thing ever.
It's like like Mr.
Dude, it was
Mr. Deeds would
yeah, he's a Mr.
pour
Deeds.
him his cereal like
no, it was like beautifully presented. It had like a little garnish on it. I was like, yo, that is Maruchan, son. That is Maruchan Top-Ramen. What are you talking about? We don't need to
That's terrible.
Spruce it up a little bit.
What's your ramen process?
My ramen, if I eat the ramen, I like to boil water on the stove. Throw the ramen noodles in there. I don't like them too soggy, so I don't boil them for too long. Just I pour them out, then I take that seasoning packet, put it on there, kind of mix it up a little bit. Got to have some broth, and that's how I usually eat the ramen. Hot as hell, real hot.
That's terrible.
Is it terrible? Tell me why it's terrible, dude. I can't wait to hear your opinion.
Because you missed like 8 ingredients.
You asked me about ramen. You didn't ask me about ramen with other stuff in it.
Ramen? What do you do with ramen? I don't have ramen like that. You boil the water. You get it boiling. You put your noodles in there. You got to drop an egg or two in there. You drop a crack an egg and put it straight in there.
All right.
You bring that out. You got to put sausages in there. You got to put some like oregano on that. Like, dude.
So you're defeating in my book. You're defeating the purpose of a cheap ramen meal. Now you're
eggs
buying
are expensive.
Yeah, okay. Maybe
oregano, some sausage.
What about the sausage?
No, you should have some sausage in the freezer.
All right,
dude.
Maybe I'll come over. You make ramen for me, bro.
I have to. I've been doing this wrong my whole life. What have I been eating?
We went to Chick-fil-A today, and I bought Chick-fil-A for us on the way over here to the office breakfast. And I'm like about to eat my hash browns. He's like, "Oh, you must not be hip on the barbecue sauce with the hash browns. You're always like hacking it out. You always got these cool food hacks." He's like,
it's like the most obvious one though. You'd be like, I didn't know you could put bacon on a chicken sandwich. Like, it'd be the most
Tony knows all the secret menu items. Aren't there places that have like secret menu items?
I'm gonna use my basic call out, like the basic title.
The basic title. Bro, we're editing a video the other day.
Like, what are you talking about?
Well, we like to work. We like to work together. We shoot together. We like to edit together if possible. Sometimes due to workload due to COVID, we couldn't do that. But anyway, it's great to be back working together. We like to edit together. So we're sitting there editing, and I'm bringing in a title. You know, a title onto the frame because we're gonna put some words on the frame, and Tony brings in the title, and it has all of these there's like 100 different controls on this title that I had never seen before. I was like, what the hell is this? What is all this? I've never seen this in my life. What is this? And Tony was like, is this the title? And I was like, dude, hold on. And so I was like, I pulled up my title. I didn't realize that my title that I had been using was just called Basic Title.
It's like nothing.
It had nothing. It literally, you bring the words onto the screen, you control the font and the size, and that is it. Tony was like, "Oh, you be using those basic titles."
No,
huh?
I was like, "What's basic?"
What's basic?
I was like, "What does basic
What
do?"
does basic be? What does that do? I said it does nothing. That's what it is. That's all I
Like,
wanted.
what
I
is
just
that?
wanted
So,
something
yeah.
to come up on the screen. That's it.
He was wowed by the bacon on a.
Yeah, you told me to. See, I've always I don't really mix. I don't really mix
you have
the
to stay
animals.
within the parameters.
Yeah, I
of
don't
the-
really mix the animals too often. Like I don't be putting the pork with the chicken
Mix
and the
the
steak and the
animals.
steak and the chicken, the pork. I don't know. Yeah, mix the animals. I guess bacon's kind of an
You
exception.
put cheese
though.
on your chicken.
Yeah. Do I put cheese
It's
on my
come from the
chicken?
cow.
I usually don't put cheese on a chicken until this morning.
You put cheese on eggs.
I was like, Tony, what you want from? I do.
There you go.
I do.
But something is wrong with you.
Yeah, something's wrong with me.
You don't put cheese on your eggs. You put cheese on almost everything.
I put cheese on the eggs. I had never had cheese on chicken unless it's chicken cordon bleu.
Chicken cordon bleu is the truth.
Yeah,
That's
it's
one of
real
my
good.
favorite meals.
Yeah,
that
man.
and shrimp.
I haven't had chicken cordon bleu in forever.
That shrimp and steak.
Yeah.
It's like
You're always hooking me up with the suggestions though, like because we do a lot of quick food, fast food over here because we're just
nothing
always moving and
profound.
shaking.
It'd just be like,
Yeah.
you got cheese and bacon on your chicken sandwich.
Shut the hell up! That's not like that. Like just
It was exactly like that. It was it's like what? I didn't
doesn't
know you,
Starbucks
I didn't know
or
you
like
could do that.
is it Panera? I think it's Starbucks has like a hidden menu. I've heard this
McDonald's
before.
and all of them. McDonald's hidden menu used to be to pull up at like 11 o'clock and ask them to make
like,
you an egg McMuffin with
what?
something else on it. And it's
Oh,
like,
before breakfast
then they
was
just
all
made it
day.
part of the menu. Like just yes, you
Yeah.
can get breakfast all day now. Like stop trying to cheat the system. We put it in the microwave anyway. What are we doing? Like
Yeah, the people always crack me up at fast food when they're like making all the crazy substitutions. They're like, yeah, all right, no butter on the thing, a light egg. I'm gonna do it. I'm just like, dude, this is fast food, bro.
a lot of that is their way to be passive aggressive and get fresh food. Like when I used to work at the restaurant, they used to be like, let me get fries with no salt. And that was just because every fry salted, you have to drop new fries to give them with no salt.
Wow.
And they would get to the window and be like, let me get salt packets. Like it's just their way of just passive aggressively being like, make sure my stuff is fresh, man.
Well,
like,
when you've been 7 times in 2 weeks and they're kind of lukewarm every time,
well, I mean, you pay for something, right? You pay for something to be hot. You didn't pay for it to be cold.
Yeah. We had a funny thing at the Chinese restaurant with Panda Express.
Panda Express, which is very good food.
We love Panda Express. It's one of the Tsunami digital media staples.
I'm finding the rice to be a little bit more bland the more I eat it.
Yeah, I usually always
It needs a lot of soy sauce and
drench it in
stuff.
soy
Like
sauce.
it comes out like just they cooked it in water and no salt at all. Like,
Yeah.
Anyway.
But anyway, we order the same order, right? And we go up to pay for it, and they were like, "Hey, so here's the first order:
Shrimp and grilled chicken.
shrimp and grilled chicken. Here's the first order. We ran out of shrimp.
Mixing
so,
the animals.
Yeah. Hypocrite.
Shrimp is borderline a cockroach, right?
Yeah, it is the cockroach of the sea. Anyway, they tell us, hey, we're waiting on fresh shrimp to come out, so just pull around the side and we'll bring it to you. And so we pull around the side, and Tony's like, why couldn't they just bring them both out with fresh shrimp? Now my order is getting cold in the car, and your order is going to be hot and fresh, piping hot. I said, give me the bag. Give me the bag. He's like, what? And I was like, give me the bag. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to tell him, hey, look. And this was after almost 10 minutes. Like we were out there for at least 5 minutes.
It was at least 5.
It was 5
I don't know
minutes.
if it was 10.
So at that point, I said, give me the bag. So I go back in there, I put the mask on, go in. I was like, hi. So we're waiting on a second order. I was very nice. We're waiting on a second order for fresh shrimp. Is there any way that when the fresh shrimp comes out, you can put the fresh shrimp on this meal as well? We ordered the same thing. She was like, you had 2 orders? And I was like, I'm waiting on the other order. She's like, what do you want me to do? I was like, so this is getting cold now because we've been waiting for the fresh food. I was wondering if you could put the fresh shrimp on this food in here. And she was like, okay. And like she was like visibly annoyed. And
So
I was like,
did they? I didn't ask you. Did they throw away the other one, or did they just?
oh yeah, they dumped it.
The entire tray, right?
No.
Oh no!
No.
They really just took the shrimp off.
They
and-
literally. So I stayed in there because I foresaw that happening, and I was just gonna be like, "Can we just get fresh?" So of course I go onto my phone, and I'm just like sitting there, I'm just like, and I look up, and I see her over the trash can, taking and going like this with the shrimp. and then she takes the fresh shrimp, put it on, and I was like, all right, dude, I'm just freaking hungry, so let's just get the hell out of
It's
here.
really what you're supposed to do, throw away the whole tray.
Give us the hot and
supposed
fresh,
to do.
baby. Yeah, man. But anyway,
That's the thing you got to think about. Like, do you really want to lose a customer over the cost of that? That food, right?
Right,
Like, just
right.
people don't think that.
it's crazy how maybe not first impressions, but like one bad incident could take a customer away forever
Mhm.
in the food industry or maybe just not the food industry, restaurant business, but like anywhere. Like let's say you go to Target and somebody's having a terrible day at Target, and one of the front of house people just treats you like a total jerk and ruins that experience for you. And guess what? Bye.
Well,
have you banned any places?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
I banned the McDonald's by our house. Mm-hmm. I'm done with that place.
I banned the Hardee's over by our place. They're out.
Oh, they haven't messed me up yet.
No, they messed me. They're out.
That's unfortunate.
You know where I've been going lately? Any retail stores or anything like that where you just been like, yeah, I ain't never going back?
McDonald's. I was done with that McDonald's because they made me get out the car when Hector was a newborn. They made me get out the car. They didn't apologize or nothing. They messed up my meal, and I went in there. They didn't apologize, and they were just like real dismissive about it. And I was like, you know what? Come over here and take the bag and give my money back. Never went back since. I'm done with that place.
Got him.
It's over. You're not getting my $10 ever again.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, but employees don't understand that. I used to have that argument with people all the time where they would be like, they slack on the job or don't care or like, I'm not doing this, have an attitude. It's like, you don't get it. Like, the performance of the store determines how long you have a job. Like, you really don't get it. Like,
that's true.
You think just going in there slacking off and I don't care about this job and just having that bad attitude. It's like, if this store disappears, what are you going to do? You're going to complain and you're going to go try to get unemployment. In the meantime, you'll be on social media asking for help, crying about it. Like, going there and the success of that store should be very important to you. Like, you shouldn't have this attitude where I don't care if Target falls apart. You should care. It'd make your life really complicated if you follow that thread and that store just closes right there immediately. Like, so it's hard. We were talking about that with Scott as a business owner and a couple other business owners where, like, just people in general, a lot of times they forget sometimes when you're working for like a small business or businesses, when you're working for somebody else, like the success of that business depends on you.
Somebody built that. Somebody got that to where it is. And you could very quickly take it down.
You could.
Especially in the small business world.
You can mess it up.
I've heard so many stories of like small business owners that have kept it very close to the chest, only bring in one or two people, because that's what happens when you start. It's just you and me. Eventually, we're going to bring somebody on.
Yeah.
And then eventually, we're going to bring maybe one or two more people on, and it'll get bigger. But like, that one person could just really screw it up. Everything that we had worked for or that person had worked for, very quickly, because somebody could just trash it, man.
But nobody's ever going to care as much as you do about what you built. And that's honestly why you can't give people anything for free. Yeah. Like, you really shouldn't, like, people as parents should understand this. And I say that not to tell you need to understand. I think they do understand it. You can't just give your kid everything they ask for, man. It messes them up, and they don't appreciate it. Like, you'll see it. You give your kid something for free, he'll break it, and, like, it doesn't matter.
Right.
But you go work for that, you're going to start taking care of it. I remember when I got my first car, I was washing it regularly. Like, I cared about it. Now, I never wanted to wash my parents' car.
Yeah, sure.
Like, and it was always like, no, this is mine now. I work for it. I'm going to take care of it. You get upset when somebody else messes it up, but... If you give it for free, if it breaks, it's like, I didn't pay for it, whatever. Like, so I think people are like that with jobs. They didn't get there. They didn't sweat. They weren't there in the beginning when they were working 14 hours to build it up to 3 employees, to 4 to 5, to when you had 1,000 employees. They don't know what that's like.
Yeah.
And the scary part is they don't care what that's like. And it's like we joke in the car, like when I said the Bill Burr joke. You sound like the Bill Burr joke. You sound like somebody that's never going to be a millionaire. Like when people do that.
Yeah.
Like when they have that, I don't care about this business. You sound like somebody that's never going to own a business. That's what you sound like. Like,
it's not for everybody.
It can be though, and I think it's not for everybody, but it's not impossible. Like people make it out to be. Like people don't even try. A lot of times it doesn't even occur in their head that they could ever do that. Like I drive past buildings all the time. I told you, like, part of the, like, one of the things that like got me sparked to want to start a business was I drove past buildings on the highway and stuff, and I told my dad, I was like, somebody owns that building. And when that clicked in my head, I'm like, there's one person that owns these buildings. Like, they're just different ones. Like, somebody owns that one, somebody owns this one. It's like, why can't I? Why can't I have a 50-story building? Like, why not? Like, and who's gonna tell me no? Like, I drive past buildings all the time, and I'm like, Tsunami can have a whole warehouse in areas and stuff like that. Why not? Who's gonna tell me no? Like,
we're on the way, dude.
Yeah, I don't think this is not this is the very, very beginning. Like, this is I see it in my head as happening. Like, I'm sure of it. So I wish more people had that idea to just take the risk. I said it a million times before, but you're going to lose money.
Yeah. A lot of people will say, dude, that's crazy. I'm what?
You lose money. Oh, well. Who cares? You know how many times the president claimed bankruptcy?
Well, we're about to find out. Them tax returns coming out. It's like, who gives a shit?
I don't think we're ever going to see him. I don't too much care, to be honest.
Yeah,
all these people cheat, man. All these people cheat. Like, it doesn't make it right. I'm jaded by it, right? Like, I don't... To tell me that he cheated, it's like,
Okay.
So he didn't pay taxes. He didn't pay. I paid more taxes than he did. Whatever. Like
I could care less about that dude.
At this point, like I've just whatever, man. Whatever.
Yeah.
Certain things that is not in our control, and I choose to. Yeah. I'll put my energies where my anger could actually change something. Like being upset about the way the government's set up is not. As far as that goes, I don't feel like I'm powerless to that. Forget it.
Less taxes.
Less taxes
for business owners.
Yeah.
For small business owners.
I seen somebody.
That's what I care about.
You know what's funny, man? And people even have a misperception about that. I saw a few people that I know personally on Facebook saying, if you're a business owner, like they like basically looking down on business owners, like with this perception that they have all kinds of money. Like, oh no, dude, you don't need no help at this time. You guys are looking for handouts. You own your own business. I'm over here working for somebody else, and I need help. It's like, I don't know why people think that if you own a business, you're some kind of rich person. Like, if you own a business, you probably got less money than the next person. Like every dollar you have
depends
is
on how
something that can go
successful
back. Well, it really depends on that too, but it really depends on how serious you are about your business. Because to be honest, like in my head, every dollar that comes in, I'm thinking, does the business need it? I'm thinking like, how would that be beneficial to the business? Like, I don't have all this excess of money where I'm throwing it around and going on vacation every other month. Like I'm thinking like this is, you don't know if the business is gonna be there next month. As far as you don't know how busy it's gonna be. You don't know if you're gonna get any clients the next 2 months. So even if I have it now, I have the self-control to not spend it at all. I'm like real careful. Like offline, I was showing you, I was like, look at all this, like I got checks I haven't touched, and that's on purpose because it's just, you don't know what next month is going to bring. So no, like a business owner doesn't always mean they're rich. Scott's another example. Scott dropped, I don't know how much money on upgrading equipment. You would think this person's, oh, you got, for example, you got 50 grand to buy a piece of machinery. You must be rich. No, I'm not, because I invested it in that. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
It's like everything is a constant like balancing act of like, you got a little bit of cash, you got to hold on to it. How much can you reinvest? It's like, to say that small businesses don't need help is a bit like ignorant. Like you don't understand the full scope of like what's going on, like the risks people are taking to provide opportunities for other people. Again, like you don't get, like when people go back and they start charging what they charge for certain services. It's easy as a customer to be upset. Like, how could you charge me, $500 to do that? It's like, there's cost of doing it. There's taxes. There's a whole bunch of stuff. And then there's the huge risk of, like, I might not have a client next month.
Yeah. And the customer will say, well, that's none of my concern.
And it really isn't. We've talked about that before when we're trying to figure out our prices. It's like, because it really is none of the customer's concern that you pay 50% in taxes. It's not. And that's not a way to necessarily do business, but that's just the reality you have to kind of assess when you're moving forward. Like, how do I eat while still keeping these factors in mind? And, I get it. As a customer, I don't care. I don't care when I walk into Walmart that they pay 50% in taxes or more or whatever. Like, I don't care. I still want that milk to be $2-3.
I don't know if Walmart's paying.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know.
We talked about it before. Like, I'd love to sit in a room with people that understand how to play that game.
Yeah.
And what do you have to do?
Because they're not. We've run into clients or seen businesses out in town where it's like we'll sit there in their car going, how the hell are they in business?
You know,
I look at their prices and I look at their product and I see what they're selling and we're just like, how the heck are they doing it?
The only difference is, though, is that when you do, like, for example, like a restaurant or something like that, like you can sell something for $5 a plate when you're making 40 plates an hour.
Mm-hmm. It's all about volume.
In like a service industry, like honestly, you'd have to do research into like what a car wash does or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like detailing businesses and house cleaning services, stuff like that. Like just a service-based industry.
Mm-hmm.
What that price structure looks like and what taxes and stuff look like for them. Because, I still don't understand it fully.
No, I don't either.
I don't get it. I'd love for somebody to be like, to see this right now and be like, you guys are paying 50% in taxes? You're nuts. This is what you need to be doing. Yeah, reach out. Because
please.
It sounds nuts to me.
Please reach out and help us.
It sounds crazy to me. Yeah, I refuse to believe that everybody else is paying 50%.
You're always learning, and we're continuing to learn.
There's ways to get that number down. I'm positive there's ways to get that number down. It's a business
expense. Everything's a business expense.
Yeah. In the meantime, we play it safe. We don't spend every single dollar that comes in, and it's been a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the business has grown organically the way we always talked about it growing. Like, it's not forcing it.
You do good work, you get more work.
And treat people well, man. Please, thank you. Smile. Hello, how you doing? Hey, just thinking about you.
And don't be that way just to be that way.
Show up early, stay late.
Be that way, man. People are good.
It's not difficult, man. As far as that, it's not difficult.
Yeah.
The difficult thing is the consistency and getting up every day on your own without somebody telling you. Like, it's up to you now.
It's funny, man. When you really care about something, you really love something, it's crazy what you'll do. It's like me and Tony decided yesterday, like, what time we getting there tomorrow? We got a full day today. We got 2 shoots and a podcast recording tonight for a client. And it was like, we'll get there at 9 o'clock. All right, 9 o'clock. We both get here at like 8:30, 8:40. That's cool to see, man.
Just the way it is. That's just the way you have to do it.
Let's get after it, man. Let's get after it.
And then we'll be here till 9:30, and
call it a day.
And then back at it next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, rock and roll, dude. Fun show.
Yeah.
Dig it. I'm Matt.
It's Tony.
And this is Tsunami Podcast.
Yes, it is.
You're always late. I can't take you anymore.
Very good.
You have no more 6